Welcome to The Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of The Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Hello, imagination. I'm Vince Kramer, your host, and welcome to The Miracle You, where you learn about the magic of living your life by finding the example in real life. We've shared with you many times that each and every one of us is energy and everything around us is energy. The way we deal with people takes energy, gives energy. The way we dress, the way we accessorize, the way you look at yourself in the mirror, it all has to do with energy. And as you surround yourself with those things that support you, that bring joy into your life, that support you in who you are, it gives you an opportunity to be more powerful, to be more loving, to be more caring, to be more in every aspect of your life. Today, we're going to talk about how surrounding yourself with gems and crystals and other ways to support your vibration will help you tremendously. And our guest today is going to share with you how to really step into supporting yourself and finding those things that support you in a way that also empowers you. So I'm with Gina Cobb today. Gina is known as Gina the Gemologist. She founded Gina M. Cobb, Inc. November 8th, 2018 in response to seeing people struggle shopping for jewelry. Most people go from store to store hearing many different opinions based on the jewelry experience of the person helping them. It was clear to her that there was a need for a new niche service, and she founded it. She continues to follow as her guiding light the importance and the meaning behind each piece of jewelry purchase. Jewelry marks the celebration of life's milestones that are cherished for a lifetime. Her business is designed to create an ease when shopping, one that is tailored with the client's needs first, combined with consistent information and transparent service from store to store. Gina Cobb, are you ready to share the miracle of you with the imagination?
I am, and I'm so excited and honored to be here. Yay!
Yay, it's great to have you here. I've known Gina from a distance for about a year now, and I think everybody's going to love what she has to share as she tells her story and really helps us not only find the right jewelry for the right person, for the right situation, but also to find a little bit about ourselves in that experience also. Gina, could you share a little bit more than the introduction about who you are and what you do?
Yes, I would love to. And thank you so much for that beautiful introduction and reflection. I find that being able to see it through your lens, I was like, oh yeah, I get to own that and be that person, right? And that feels really good. But really, it's like, I find that there's a world in jewelry that works well for marketing, that there's like this need to be good enough to receive jewelry. Like if I'm in a marriage for 20 years, then I deserve a piece of jewelry. Well, I like to kind of get in the realm of possibility of what if you deserve the jewelry now and you can afford it and you can enjoy it for the next 20 years and you don't have to, wait for it. The other day I had a really great reflection. My life partner, Michael, we were talking about this jewelry purchase and he was like, I don't think about jewelry the way you do, Gina, right? And so it just occurred to me, he's never going to wake up and say, I want to buy her 10 carats. Where I'm, on Instagram going, look at all these beautiful rings, manifesting. And so just getting in that space of it's okay if he doesn't want to buy me a 10 carat, but if I want a 10 carat, it doesn't mean it has to be a diamond, right? It could be an amethyst. So the shift around the mindset is we don't have to be valuable to own things, right? We get to choose these things and just having people speak their truth about jewelry and removing the shameful language of like, oh, yeah, it's not that expensive, but oh, it means so much to me. And to see people's energy change when they talk about it not being valuable and how low the vibration is. And then when they start talking about their loved one that gave it to them or passed on, they light up. And that's what I get really excited about is just a different side of jewelry that's more emotional, and it's based on the person wearing it. And so we don't have to wear chains that rip our hair out.
So it goes much, much further than the jewelry with what you just shared with me. What is your mission in life? What's your purpose? What are you here to bring?
I have a really unique way of looking at the world. And I spent the first 30 years of my life trying to fit into the mold I thought I was supposed to be in. And I've spent the last 12 honoring my difference from what everyone else thinks. Like even in college a couple years ago when I was finishing up my bachelor's degree, it's like I never understood the instructions the same way that other people did. But that just showed me that I have this creative side that's also not connected to like the conforming part of it, right? So I would say definitely the way I look at the world, because I see kindness and love first, and negativity is just an opportunity for me to learn and to see that something's not working or I don't want to go that way, and I don't see it the same way. And so I just get really excited because a lot of times people are like, how are you so positive? How are you so, I just love life. I'm just so excited that I went from wanting to like not live every day, moment to moment for the first 30 years to like, what can I learn today and what magical thing will happen? So I would say that is like, and sharing that and giving permission to that, because I was raised that my job was to be skinny, pretty, and quiet. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm any of these things. So I might as well be funny and try to learn how to, fit in some other way. And I found myself in that journey, and it's been such a blessing. Awesome. And a miracle, really.
And that's, I love what you shared there, finding yourself. And that's the biggest step in everyone's life, is to find the real you and live your life your way. It can't be anybody else's way, or you don't feel the energy. You don't have the excitement. So let me ask you this. One of the things at Imagine Miracles that we work with people on is understanding what their quintessence is. That's the real and concentrated essence of them. It's kind of like the energy of your higher self, if you will. In the work
that sounds really interesting.
In the work that you do, you help people line up, and this is just me doing my research on you, so you can tell me, Vince, I don't think that's true, but what I see is you help people line up their jewelry and the energy of their jewelry with the energy of them. Is that true, first of all? And then tell us a little bit about why it's important to do that and how you do it.
Oh, definitely. And yes, that is such a great reflection, Vince. You are so spot on. Thank you for that. And so it is true. And so, for example, I helped a really good friend of mine. I've known her for 6 years. We're in Rotary together, which is International Organization of Service. And I love their mission, service above self. And she had a pair of pearls that was given to her 20 years ago that she wore twice. And she was like, these are never going to be my style. They're not the right length. They're not the right, like nothing about it screams me, but you make pearls look really fun. And I love this mission of solidarity. And what does that really mean? It means we're all uniting. Everyone gets to wear pearls. Everyone's part of the Pearl Club, but everyone's pearls don't have to look the same. So you separate that image of only, women or men or, people that identify as they, them wear pearls. No, we all get to wear pearls. So I was telling her this and she got inspired and she goes, well, I want to make something, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I social distance, have our mask on, we're outside. She picks out her favorite color of gemstone. We talk about the design and then we lengthen it to the perfect length. We added some lapis to it. And it went from this looks like everyone else, which I don't feel I identify with, to we made this with my intention, right? And so the empowerment that she is worthy of spending time to analyze what she's going to enjoy every day. versus when she puts it on, it feels tight, and no one wants to wear any jewelry that's tight unless it's a look and you're on the red carpet with bodyguards and you can take it off if you need to, right? And so the thing that I really saw is the transformation isn't about the money or what gemstone you get. It's that she is worth the time to find out what she really wants, right? And we're honoring her 20 years ago and how she was like, thank you for getting me these pearls. That's what you got, women, when they graduated, right? And honoring that time, but then making who she is now, which is a fierce woman that wants it long, classic, and not fussy. And we did it in numbers where it was like sevens. And it was a complete circle. And then we also talked about the magic of the jewelry being like, okay, so if you have 3 lapis and you have 4 pearls, right? That's 7. So it's like a nice number. But when you have moments in the day, it's not going to last longer than that 7 seconds. Like if you hold on to negativity, it's hard. But if you sit in all the reasons why we're bad or not worthy, it's easy to get trapped there. Well, this is a small reminder that she's totally worth every gem, every knot, every thought, every moment. And each one of those stones was mined and faceted and drilled and then strung together by me with the intention of pure empowerment. And when she put it on and lit up and said, oh my goodness, I love it so much, it encapsulates that for her. So every time she wears it, I'm special, I'm valuable, I'm worthy. So if the person at the grocery store is a little whoop whoop, she can be like, but that's okay. They get to have their moment, right? It's like, how do we reframe jewelry to protect ourselves? Wear it as armor, as pride versus as, my partner loves me more than they love you. Like I was looking through and actually doing some homework last night that I like to do for myself about jewelry. And it was showing in the 1950s, this woman wearing all this jewelry and all the other women Googling over it. And it just kind of hit with International Women's Day being today. It's like men had the power back then, and then they would buy jewelry for their women. And then their women would wear the jewelry as power and armor. And look how much I'm loved. Look how much I'm adored, because we were trying to have our voices in some way. And we did a great job with what we had. But now we get to move into this time where we all have a voice, and it doesn't have to be the same, right? So nobody wants the same shoes usually, so never mind having the same jewelry. And so I just invite people, if they have jewelry that they like, there's one thing they don't love about it, it's changeable. We don't have to live with like the things that bug us, especially when it comes to jewelry.
Exactly. And the energy of those stones and the energy of the love put into making it all supports us in our vibration also. Why put on yourself something that doesn't support your vibration and what you're bringing to the world? So very well said. And thank you for sharing that in that way. I know, because I did the research, that you didn't start out, you started out, I think, with the love of gems, but I don't think you started out with as much of the love of sharing jewelry and the jewelry experience until you stepped into forming your own company. Was there a wake-up call in there or something that really got your attention to help you step into this new you and the way you share gems in the world?
Definitely. I would say Rotary is another big part. I joined Rotary because I was like, oh, I'm not going to have children. I need to find something to do with my life. Like I was bored. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I joined Rotary, and it was the best decision I've ever made because I was in a group of like diverse, different levels of experience, professionalism. I mean, all this different stuff. And exchange students coming over here at 16 from different countries and learning the language and the culture. And I was like, how can I challenge myself? And I went back to school. And I would say going back to school was the best decision I've ever done for myself because it taught me how to learn information. It taught me how to question everything so that I'm protected, that it's in my own best interest. So I went from like a full-on golden retriever, like just be my friend, I'll do whatever you want, to, that's a really great proposition, or that sounds like a really fun event. Let me get back to you. I need to check my schedule. And I'm one of those people that in the moment I just say yes. And I don't want to do that to you because that is disappointing. And getting an education is how I found my voice. And then I would say, because I thought about this question a lot, that I really started to change my mindset and my life after my stepfather, Larry, passed away in 2014. And I was sitting in a room full of family members that felt that what was happening should be different. And, and I was the source of that. And it was the first time I knew in my heart what was right, and that it was okay that there was 10 people that were 3 times my age, twice my age, that didn't agree or didn't believe that I was right. And I felt that that was okay. And it was the first time I saw that it's like, no, I see the truth. And that kind of started me on seeing that more. Like once I saw my truth and I stood in it, even though it was hard and people decided to like not talk to me or, delete me from their life, it was so much better than letting myself be in a situation that wasn't honoring of what I knew. Right. So it's not about right or wrong. It's like, this isn't honoring me. So it's a no. And standing in that, I would say, was my biggest aha, because it was so much more empowering than living with something that wasn't true.
Awesome. We call those crisis wake-up calls. A death in the family is something to get your attention, and it says, life needs to be my way, and I'm going to step into it. So what gave you the courage to move from, as you said, the golden retriever into the, let's say, the Alaskan Malamute that's leading the pack now? What took you in that direction?
I would definitely say, so one of my goals was always to find love, right? And so when I met my partner, Michael, I thought like, okay, this is my goal. This is it. I made my goal. I don't need, my dream has come true. And then after I had that love, I was like, okay, well, what's next? And so the thing that I'm really excited about is the first 30 years of my life were like painfully turbulent. And they also gave me the best skills of my life. Right. And I look back and I really honor what I went through. And it's like, my family dynamic was my sacred teacher. Like it was like my playground. Like really looking back, it was my experiment, because it's like, I've always been on my own. I've just never been accountable to that. And so having a person to reflect my goodness every day, all the time, I never had until I met him. And so I would say we've been able, I think about the Ninja Warrior wall where you have the blocks and you have to jump up on the blocks, we do that together hand in hand, and it is hard as hell, but it is so worth it. And so I would definitely say that has been the biggest thing, is just having 100% unconditional love and support all the time, and challenge me to dream bigger, because I literally was like, well, this is all I need. I have love. I'm done now. And he's like, well, what else do you want? And I was like, well, that sounds scary. And so I really challenged myself, like, how big can I dream? And and so like being on with you today, it's like, this is my dream, just to share the message and share jewelry, because when you say jewelry, most people clench up, and I would like that to change. Like one of my first networking events back in 2018, I walked in, it was like 7 a.m, and I'm equally as like happy as I am like this at any time of day. And people are always like, I'm a morning person, like where, I'm also a night person, right? And I said, hi, I'm Gina the Gemologist. I'm a jewelry consultant that helps people save money. And one gentleman goes, you need to stay away from me and my wife. You sound expensive. And I literally was like, oh, I have a lot of work to do, because there's this disconnect between people. Like, it's like if you really loved cars and you were like, Gina, go buy me a car. And I'm like, but I don't like cars. Like, you wouldn't want me to go buy you a car. And so we have all this jewelry that's just sitting there in people's jewelry box. And I love making affordable ways for people to take those beautiful memories and tweak it to fit them. Like, that's my favorite. It's not about selling the jewelry. You can, if that's something you want, but it's all about repurposing it, because it was always supposed to be yours. It's just showing you what you can do with it,
So what would you like to see happen in the world? What difference do you want to make by sharing this in the way that you do?
Well, for one, I love the fact that the jewelry industry is consumer driven. So that means that everyone has a voice. And the more the more shoppers that become savvy and ask questions like, where was this sourced? Was it ethical? Do you have documentation? And asking those questions and finding and seeking out the jewelers and the goldsmiths that maybe aren't as good on Instagram, but they're going to make it in their basement, and you're going to support them, because for me as an empath, my ideal community are people that are like, where was this mined? Who touched it? And was everyone treated fairly? And the more people that ask those questions, the more jewelers and the more jewelry stores and the more societies are going to demand that. Just like when I started in the business in 2001, nobody was asking for diamond grading reports, but then people started asking those questions. And so now almost every diamond over a certain carat weight is going to get a diamond grading report. And it's unbiased information. And that's who I am. I am unbiased information. People ask me all the time, what do you think of lab grown diamonds versus earth mined diamonds? And I'm going to give you the data, the information, the reasons why supporting, Africa and Canada and New Zealand or Australia, these are all the reasons to support the earth mined and these countries. But then here's the reasons to support lab grown. And here's the pros and cons of lab grown. And so in jewelry, it's all about perception, opinion, and marketing to men to buy jewelry. And I just want everyone to be in the conversation. And there is jewelry for everyone in all price ranges. And I just think we put a lot of focus on celebrity and diamonds. And there's this world of jewelry for all these people that are like, jewelry is for people that are fussy. And it's like, my favorite people to help are people that aren't jewelry people, because they just need that one piece. And then like my friend, that lit up, with her lapis and pearls. And now she has that one piece, right? And then she can start thinking about the next thing if she wants to, but if not, she has her one piece. So it's, about finding the perfect roadmap for everyone for their jewelry, because I feel like I've been on this train, like, you graduate college, you get married, you have kids, you have a house, you get dog. And now it's like, you get to do whatever you want. And when it comes to jewelry, I can totally help you. And we can plan, the next 20 years of your jewelry and make it fun and teach you a lot of fun stuff. And it doesn't have to be a Tiffany's box. It can be high quality and supporting a local person that you meet, which is pretty cool.
You agreed to come on the podcast with a guy that likes to go deep and to find the underlying parts of it for us as energy and everything. So I'm going to ask you a question that may put you on the spot a little bit, but I think I'm going to really enjoy the answer here. Are we finding ourselves in the jewelry, or are we finding the jewelry that accessorizes us? And I'm not saying the external, I'm saying the internal.
Totally. Well, I would say it's a combination. It's just like with anything else. It's just about how much power you put into it, right? Like, so for me, I've had so many external comments on my jewelry. So again, it's like, you don't look like a jeweler, or wow, is that all your jewelry? Is it just yours? But I think jewelry finds us, right? Because it's like wearable art. Like, when you go shopping for art, they're all beautiful. You can honor everything. But finding the right piece that you want to look at, that every time you look at it makes you feel differently about yourself, like that's the type of jewelry I have. I've always bought my own jewelry, and I never wanted to have boyfriend energy or girlfriend energy on my jewelry ever. So I always bought my own pieces, right? And so for me, it's like, for this ring, it's a pyrite. It's a really big, like 20 millimeter diameter pyrite ring. And it's so over the top, but that's my fierce ring. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling a little nervous today. I'm doing scary things today. And I want my fierce ring. And it's not about anyone else, and it's a really fun ring for me because it's something that looks like a $3,000 ring. And I had a local artist do it, and she was so happy to do it. It was like less than $300, and so for me, it has meaning. And it's like, I have these powerful women in my circle that, touch and influence it. And I also have powerful men, and I also have powerful people that identify as they, them. And so, not to get off topic in the sense of, but it's like when I found this pyrite stone, it was so fierce, I had to have it. So it's like, I see it as a molecule, right? Like my atoms, sometimes I have protons, neutrons, neutral, right? Like, so I think of that. And sometimes I don't have everything I need, but this is a gift from the earth to give me that strength that I need. that I have the harsh lines, but I'm also soft and sparkly. And so I really take my jewelry like on a very deep and metaphoric level. And not everybody wants that, but to me, I love it. Like every prong means something, the way the diamonds are aligned, the way the pearls were harvested from each different mollusk, which is representing the solidarity of all of us coming together from different, walks of life and avenue. Like I just take it to a level where it's like my love story. I get to wear my love story of my life and myself and my partner all over me throughout the day. I mean, how cool is that?
So this is,
like someone, sorry.
This, for the imagination, this is what living your divine intent sounds like.
Wow.
When you have that enthusiasm, you have that excitement, everything about what you're doing is living from the inside out in a way that makes a difference in people's lives, is exactly what living your divine intent sounds like. And thank you for that amazing example. And I want to share also, pyrite is what? It's the protection energy. So it makes all the sense in the world that you're wearing that when you feel, I'm a little scared about this. I don't know if I can do this podcast with Vince or not. It's the energies of the stones, the crystals, the gems around us are so powerful in supporting us and representing us as we represent them.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it's kind of a shield because I've really built confidence through my jewelry. Because someone was asking me like, what's so important about jewelry? And it's like, well, here's my story about jewelry. And they're like, wow, like you used it for self-confidence. Because the first time I bought myself a piece of jewelry, like it was like nothing I've ever felt in my life. Like I felt special and pretty and accepted. And it meant a lot. I saved up for it for 6 months. Like that's discipline, right? So it's like, so you wear these little clues of like, how did 24-year-old Gina save up $900? And then if you bought that ring today, it would be $3,500. And I still enjoy it just as much. And so like, if you want to play with numbers, let's see how it's fun because you get to divide it into the life of your enjoyment, right?
Right. Oh, right. It's so awesome to think about it that way. Could you share with the audience what's the first couple steps that they should think about in bringing the jewelry into their life that will bring the joy that they're looking for and will help them live their lives in a way that's represented in what they're wearing?
Oh, totally. So one of the, like a really fun pro tip that's super helpful and simple is if you're going to go jewelry shopping, like after you've done your research, most people on average do about 2 months of research before they step into a store. And I don't remember where I got that information from, but I can certainly give it to you so we can have it for listeners later. But the interesting thing is wearing something that you wear on a regular basis, like wear your most comfortable outfit that you like. If you're going to buy a piece of jewelry because you want a nice statement piece for your Zoom meeting, let's say you want earrings or a necklace, or maybe you want a set and you're not sure, wear your favorite Zoom outfit when you go shopping. And tell the salesperson as much information as you can. I know it's taboo. Everyone says don't tell the salesperson what you really want to spend, but I'm telling you, they want to help you. The more information you give them, the better it is. And if there's resistance to you sharing information, it's a no. Right? Like if you go into a jewelry store and you're like, I'm here to get a necklace for a Zoom meeting, but I'd also like something with some good energy. And if they're like, oh, well, that's a little, well, we don't really have stuff like that. That's a no. They're never going to be nice to you. Just turn around and leave. And it's okay to leave. And, and you can also just say, oh, we're just not in, versus going in a store. That's great. Let's have fun. Let's try it on. Is this what you would wear? And then, so the people that are excited to experiment with you, those are the salespeople that love it too. And they aren't going to say things like, you should just buy that, treat yourself. It's like, well, that's just given. That's not a reason to buy something. So
in the
world.
So
definitely those two things. Cause like engagement ring shopping, when you have your nails done, is so much more fun than if you're like, oh, my nails.
So in the world of Gina Cobb, what would the perfect world look like when it comes to jewelry and people's experiences with it?
This is the best question ever. I'm just going to feel in this for a second because that was such a juicy question. You are so good at questions. Oh my goodness. As I shift into that question, I'm just like, for me, really, it's just about people aligning with their ideal match, right? So on the consumer side, the trust, the transparency, and the honesty, like that is like, I want people to feel empowered and to go into a jewelry store and say, I am thinking about saving up for something and I want to play in some jewelry. I'm thinking I want to spend $5,000. What can you show me? And then I want, like, on the other end, I want the salespeople in the jewelry stores to be excited about that adventure and to be invested in, this person might come in for 4 months trying something on, but she's going to spend $5,000 if I help her find the right thing, or him or them, right? And so for me, it's all about the collaboration, where now it's like we're switching times. It's like we came from, they're the jeweler, they know what they're doing, we listen to them, into a time of, it doesn't matter what Gina the gemologist's opinion is. It doesn't matter what the jewelry store's opinion. It matters about what you want. And if you say you don't want prongs on your center diamond, I'm not going to tell you that that's a bad idea. Right? Where now it's very opinion based. There's no harmony. And at least in through my lens, I just want to point out that this is through my lens. And this is why I never felt like I fit in the jewelry industry. Every jewelry store says they have the best sources, the best goldsmiths, the best stock. That's their job. They need to have that confidence, but it doesn't have to be the detriment of the customer, and it doesn't have to be a competition, because me going and taking clients' jewelry and getting the honest answers from jewelry stores saying, Gina, we couldn't charge you enough to make us want to do that job. Why can't they say that to clients? Like, that's how I see it. Like, why can't they just be honest? Vince, we're so excited that you're happy that you have this beautiful ring, but that is not our specialty. Why don't you call Gina the gemologist? She'll hook you up with someone, or send them somewhere else, right? Because we don't have to be good at everything, but we have to admit what we specialize in. So that's how I see it. So a couple could walk in and say, we're looking for earth-fine diamonds. And they'd be like, great, we have a huge selection of that. Are you open to looking at anything else, or just that? Like, so it's a conversation, versus now a lot of times my feedback from clients before they start working with me is they go in and they're like, we're here to look for earth-mine diamonds. And the salesperson says something like, well, why would you want that? They're more expensive. So that is irrelevant information. Right. Because it's not about them. It's not about what they sell. But if they only sell lab grown, of course they're going to say that. But my thing is to say, oh, that's so great. That's what you want. That's not what we specialize in. Would you like to look at what we do specialize in? Or can we refer you out? Like, that's what I want to see the jewelry industry be, because there's so much like secrecy and hiddenness. And now that I've had my own business, and especially as a woman ran business in the jewelry industry, it is very tight knit, but I've been able to see it's like we all actually work together behind the scenes. So why can't we say that to clients? It just seems like so for me, transparency, trust, and honesty, and the people that want to pay more money for the ethical sourced and the conflict free, those should be available. And then the people that want to do lab grown, non-conflict, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not, oh, well, I want a better deal, so it's going to be at the sacrifice of the person faceting it in India. It's like, no, we all get to enjoy jewelry, and everyone gets paid for it really well. Like, that's really my big mission, is just the awareness that consumers have all the power. If you walk in and say, everything I buy needs to have a certification, and we just keep doing it, everyone's going to get fair wages. And that really is the mission.
Awesome. What's the one thing that you want to make sure people take away from today?
That jewelry is designed for the wearer, and the labels and the unconscious bias just do a lot of harm. And I just invite people to remove that, so, and when people, I would just, and find the honor in ourselves, right?
Awesome. I know there's people who want to know more about you and what you do. Maybe you want to find out where to go to shop or what to look for. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah. So Gina the Gemologist at gmail.com, or my website, ginathegem.com. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at Gina the Gemologist.
should be pretty easy to find, but I'm going to make it even easier. All that stuff's going to be available on Gina's show page. Just look for Gina Cobb's episode. That information will be available to you. Gina, thank you so much for being with us today, sharing who you are and your love and your divine intent of bringing this joy to people and helping them experience the energy of who they are. It's so needed in the world, and thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for this beautiful platform.
Awesome. On behalf of Mary, my business partner, my wife, and the entire team at Imagine Miracles, have a miracle day.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleyou.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 mind awakening steps toward your unique purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleyou.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.